All right, now before we begin, as everybody knows, on Underworld News Tonight, we strive for only the highest standards of journalistic integrity.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, last week on our inaugural episode, that was, you know, violated, desecrated might be a better word,
Mhm.
by my co-host, Miss Universe 1998, Jason Strong,
Mhm.
who impugned me. Actually, I believe your direct quote was, "You should get the death penalty for saying that, you fucking hack."
That
Was what you
sounds like me. Yeah.
Yeah, that I said you could buy a human skeleton on
Mhm.
the white market, uh, which is the term for when it's legal. I don't think it should be the term. I think anybody should be able to, but
Right.
people, for whatever reason, that's what they call it. I Now you said you didn't think that was the case, that you couldn't do that.
I did. I
So
did.
then, can you explain to me why I could waltz right now into Anatomy Warehouse in Skokie, Illinois,
Mm,
and buy an adolescent skeleton for the low price of $9,750, although the retail price is normally $10,725.
mm. A bargain at twice the price.
Yeah, it doesn't say that it's a Halloween deal because I feel like it's like not like respectful to the
Right.
teenager that died.
Yeah.
But it is on sale on October 15th, and it is a skeleton.
Yes. Yeah. Um, yeah. No. You're absolutely right.
One of my favorite things to do is buy a fake skeleton and
Mhm.
pose it outside with a fake beer. Not with a fake beer, with a real beer, like an empty beer. And it's like the
Yeah.
skeleton gets drinking on my porch, and that's kind of fun, right? If I do it with the adolescent skeleton, is that underage drinking?
Hmm. That's a good question. I I would, and I'll get back to my apology, of course. I'm I'm certainly not stalling, uh,
Yeah.
and admitting I'm wrong. And
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but,
and that's why I don't even know why I asked you, because I feel like, who are you to judge
right,
anyone
right. Clearly,
given
I
like
know.
what you've done?
Yes, clearly, I know very little about the industrial skeleton complex here in the United States to realize that you could, in fact, legally purchase a skeleton of any age, let alone adolescent.
Yeah.
Um,
And
no,
Anatomy Warehouse in Skokie, if you do want to sponsor us, that is underworldnewstonight@gmail.com.
yeah, no, yeah, hit us.
We have not
Um,
that many listeners right now, but I can make up whatever number it would take.
yeah, yeah. Um, now, as far as the adolescent skeleton with a beer, I think it would imagine. I would imagine that it would depend on whether or not the skeleton police come by
That's true.
to see something like that. But yeah, no, I was completely in the wrong. My white male privilege and ignorance.
Yeah.
I totally botched that one. I own up to it. I've
I mean, who's whiter than a skeleton? So I don't think it was that.
I've
But
I've
I want to get back to the skeleton police, though.
yeah,
Legally, can the skeleton police even arrest me? Because if I'm in my skin, isn't that like the
it's
embassy?
outside of their
Yeah,
jurisdiction.
it's the embassy, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They could arrest the skeleton
yeah.
for
I
drinking.
think it would. They could. I think it might trigger a a fleshed person versus skeletal person
That's true. We don't want that.
incident. Yeah, be a lot of geopolitical consequences.
It's true.
If a skeleton cop tried to arrest a flesh person.
Because what side would the tooth fairy take?
Exactly, exactly. Um, no, and it's and again, apologize for my ignorance, just to show, what an ally I am to the skeleton community. I put a plastic skeleton out for Halloween 2 years ago and have not taken it down since. So
I think that's one of the most like racist things you could do.
it's sitting, well, it's spooky season now anyway, but it has sat in my yard for the past 2 years, and it's kind of how I tell people to find my house, like on DoorDash. when I order my my banh mi, I tell them, hey, I'm the house with the skeleton.
Is this like a this sounds like a goth swinger house. You know, I was actually I don't know if I don't know if I could say this without I'm trying to find a way to say this without giving away too many details. I think I walked past what turned out to be my neighborhood swinger house.
Really?
Yeah, the other day on the way to get a donut. And
Mhm.
I don't know how much I don't know how much I can say, but there's a thing that's been said many places, which is that if you generally speaking, one reason why why some houses have pink flamingos outside of them, it's not
Mhm.
just that people like them, but it's also because it's often a signifier to be a swinger house. Which is, I learned that, I learned that because I was like, oh, I like pink flamingos. Maybe I should. And then I looked it up and I was like, no, I want the wrong idea,
Right. Yeah.
So, I'll stick
Yeah.
with garden gnomes. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But I saw not only this, but this was like a private house. I saw a
Mhm.
sign on the house that said "Welcome to," and then the address of the house, and then it said "The Pink Flamingo House" in quotes under it, and then
Mhm.
like the sign of like the local tow company, like with like violators will be towed.
Huh. Hmm. No, that's funny. That we're gonna get far afield from the underworld news today, but since you brought up swinging,
Mhm.
actually, for the benefit of the listeners who don't know me, I live in Denver,
Okay.
Colorado, and there's a town, a suburb of Denver just south that actually has a reputation as being kind of a swinging or like a swinger enclave or stronghold. Um, and,
Stronghold is, I feel like, is a bit too aggressive of a word.
right word.
It's not,
Yes.
it's not
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
Ruby Ridge.
Right. They have pots of boiling oil at the ready, and they have their trebuchets and ballista to defend themselves. Um, no, and
My God, our best agents are stuck to the floor.
no, and I actually found information on I think there's like a club or something, uh, and they have
He found information.
I did just living my daily life,
Yeah.
Googling, where can I swing near me? Swingers outposts or swingers.
I'm like terrified sometimes of like your Google search history because I feel like it's very normal. It's very normal, and then there's like a 2:57 a.m.
Yeah.
moment,
Yes.
and then it's night, Jason. And I
Yeah.
feel like
Typically
then it's
lunch.
like
Mhm.
it's just like have fuck where.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I put in. Um, and you pay to enter, and of course, since we live in such a cancel culture, politically correct world,
Of course.
single males, if they want, so like couples, I think it's like $50,
Yeah.
to
Yeah, and then
show
it's
up.
free for single women, and for single men, it's like $100
Exactly so.
because nobody
Exactly.
wants it to be full of fucking single dudes.
Right. Right. But amongst the amenities that this club offers is, of course, like a pool table, hot tub, your typical sort of fuck stuff.
Wait, do people fuck on the pool table, or is
You
that for
have,
playing pool?
well, I mean, it's multi-use. Um,
I don't think
but
that's
they
good material.
no,
No, I like pool.
yeah. Uh, well, I mean, it's fine. I don't imagine people are still playing when you're fucking on the pool
No, but
table.
it's about the material that like you
Oh,
play pool
like
like
the felt and
yeah, and
yeah,
then like
and
nobody's I'm 5'5" and I think I'm too tall to like lay down comfortably on a pool table.
yeah. Um, no, that makes sense.
That's a safety
It's
violation.
not
If
for
people are
everybody.
fucking on the pool, I think you should pay the fee, go
Mhm.
in, and if people are fucking on that pool table, you need to report them.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why it's more expensive for single men,
Because
is because
only
they
us are
come
going
in
to take
there
the
and
initiative.
yeah, they're cranking it laying on the pool table, and you're like, come on, dude, I want to play some 8-ball. But they also have the like inflatable bouncy attractions. Like there's a big inflatable bouncy slide,
Oh, that's
a
fun.
bouncy castle. So I think they have their fuck bases covered. Like, I
A lot of this is stuff that,
kind
like,
of
you're saying
tempting.
it's a hot tub, a pool
Yes.
table, a
Uh-huh.
bouncy castle. This is all
Yes.
stuff that's fun that, like, I don't need to fun. I would prefer, like, I would prefer to go to these things and not have sex, and then go home and have sex on a comfortable bed.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why it's more expensive for single men, because
Because
they're
they know
just
I'm just gonna go through, you run it, jumping on the
right,
pool table.
right. You're just going to be jumping in the bouncy house and then heading home and I don't know, cranking it
Right,
there.
I feel like that's so much worse if you're in one of those. A guy just goes in, does all that recreational activities,
Mhm.
doesn't like acknowledge the sexuality of any of it, goes home, and you just know he's gonna rub one right out to the whole thing.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, that's how I do it personally. Um,
Yeah. Anyway, what else were you gonna tell me about this place?
um, no, I think that's it. I thought the inflatable uh, bouncy slide and castle were kind of an interesting choice for a like a swinging stronghold.
I guess if you're a swinging stronghold, I mean, you need something that's gonna double as an obstacle course for the militia.
And speaking of, we brought
Anyway,
up.
Human Anatomy Warehouse, if you want to sponsor us, just let us know.
Yes, please. And again, apologies.
Underworldnewstonight@gmail.com.
Yes, I've surrendered my crown. I've withdrawn my name for consideration as Speaker of the House over this. And yeah, mea culpa. Um, I was wrong about the skeletons.
I don't think it's bad enough for the Speaker of the House thing to have to be an elegy. I think you're fine with Speaker of the House.
um, well, since you mentioned that, here's possibly another candidate for Speaker of the House.
Let's do it.
This story comes to us from the New Jersey Globe.
Oh, New
Uh,
Jersey. I love New Jersey. Let me tell you something. You go to New Jersey, you get on Route 46 West, you go to Mountain Lakes Bagels. It's right between Mountain Lakes and Denville.
mhm,
Best fucking bagels in the state. That's all I
yeah.
gotta say.
So, in addition to bagels, in New Jersey, here's a story.
I need you to never say bagel again, but go on.
What did I say?
Bagel?
What bagel?
Yeah, bagel is what you said, I think.
Yeah,
You pronounced it like kegels.
yeah. How should I?
Bagel.
Bagel, like a
Yeah.
long A.
Yeah, like a
Bagel,
long A. You real not anything but bagel, really.
bagel. Is that? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I, I'm from Ohio, but for some reason I have kind of a Southern accent. I don't know where I picked that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've wondered that.
yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, I've never lived south of Ohio, so I don't know. Um, so anyway, I guess what I'm saying is that's my way of saying that that's my culture is pronouncing it bagel.
Okay, well, in this
um,
case, your culture should not.
all right. So anyway, here's the story of city assembly candidate Joseph Viso.
Mhm.
Again, coming to us, the story comes to us from the New Jersey Globe. Uh, Mr. Viso, who again is running for city assemblyman,
Mhm.
assembly person, I don't know, um, who owns an electrical business,
Small
and
business owner, lifeblood of America.
exactly, yeah, entrepreneur,
The type of job creator and innovator that this country needs more of. I would
exactly,
put podcasters in the same category.
yeah. We need more small business owners and more podcasters.
Yes.
I was, yeah, just listening to an episode of The Daily that made that point. Um, Anyway, Mr. Viso, owning a small business, God bless him. His business was next to a daycare center,
All right.
and apparently, he felt that the daycare center was harassing his employees, specifically around parking.
Mhm.
The
Well,
daycare
I mean,
center had
those fucking kids need to fucking figure out how to parallel park.
right, yeah, that's probably what the issue stems around, is the daycare center um, kids, the toddlers, and
Yeah.
uh, couldn't park right
Yeah, for
when
real.
they drove to the daycare
I
center,
don't
and it
care
had
how fucking cute it is at a certain point.
right. And it was making it hard for this this Mr. Viso and his employees to park their Ford F-150s. Anyway, Mr. Viso, again, who is running for his city's assemblyman, uh, took it upon
City's assembly
himself.
or state?
Oh, uh, oh, it is state.
Yeah,
My
we have a
apologies.
state assembly.
My
Like instead of
apologies.
state, like house or something.
I have never set foot in New Jersey, so uh, again, my ignorance of the political process there in New Jersey. Um, anyway, as a way of getting back at the daycare center,
Mhm.
smeared shit on the door and in the locks and on the handles. Um, he was there was cameras that caught him doing this, and he
Yeah, they tend. It's good to have those near a daycare for a lot of reasons, actually.
cameras, yeah,
Yeah,
mhm,
tend to be like not like chill places about recording practices.
yes, yeah. Um, Yeah, but anyway, he got picked up for smearing shit on the daycare center door and the on the knobs and the locks. And when confronted about this, his uh, his words uh, his words were that he was in a dark place because Obama was just elected.
Of course.
So obviously, it's a little puzzling why the story is breaking now, when if Obama was just elected, this would have been 10 years ago. Maybe it's his political ambitions. They started, the lamestream media started scouring the internet
Digging
for dirt on
digging
this
through his
guy.
past, and you have a public record of smearing poop on a daycare and blaming
Right.
Obama, and all
Uh-huh.
of a sudden it's all over the news
Right. Yeah.
because it'll
Right.
bring attention to the New Jersey Globe. Uh,
Right. Right. Well, and the hypocrisy in 2020 during the Black Lives Matter protests, no one got charged for smearing shit on daycare center doors. And then this Republican
yeah,
guy, gets brought up on charges for it. So it's,
yeah. Nobody, we
anyway.
never even heard about people smearing shit on daycare on
Right.
daycare centers.
Yeah.
But we
When you
all know
go,
it's a normal thing to do. We've all done it. You know,
oh, absolutely.
3 to 8 times because Obama was just elected for like a multi-day period. But if I could offer some constructive criticism
Yeah.
of and I hate to do it because he is a small business owner, like we said, lifeblood of America. Please hire
Yes.
me, Daddy Viso. But you're mad about Obama being elected, so you're smearing shit on the daycare center. Uh, babies can't vote.
Hmm.
They didn't do this.
Well, legally, babies can't vote, but as we all know, with
That's
the
what the voter fraud is. It's we hear about
exact
dead people voting. This is babies
right,
voting, and then of course the next
right,
step is Benjamin Button voting.
right.
I haven't figured out what that is yet, but it's a
Uh-huh.
concept.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. It's all part of that conspiracy. Um, uh, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Did it say where he's
Um,
running from? Did he say which part of New Jersey he's running in?
no,
Hmm.
uh, no.
All right. Because I mean, I think a lot of people don't understand about New Jersey, and I'm not going to talk about the Jersey Devil because we're doing that. I'm doing that in another
Right,
episode,
that's for later.
and I'm not going to talk about the New Jersey Devils, our hockey team, even though they do seem to be doing pretty well this year. What I will talk about, though, we do have a lot of really insane right-wing people in right-wing parts of the state. And I feel like this applies to most blue states, but I feel like especially New Jersey and a few others. New York, I'd say as well, because you have all of upstate, where like people don't like this guy's probably still gonna there are probably plenty of people in this guy's district who are gonna be like, yeah, I get it, I did that too.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like you said, I think we all have been guilty of this at some point. I know in '92, when I heard that Clinton got elected.
Yeah, I know you were a Perot
Wow,
guy.
that Freudian slip.
Clinton did get erected a lot, actually.
Did get erected.
Hey, we got him.
When when Clinton got elected, I pissed on a stop sign.
Yeah. Well, I know you were a big Perot guy, so
I was actually.
yeah. You were part of the what's part called the pierogies.
Yes, pierogies.
Did anyone
Yeah,
make that joke at the time, or am I the first person to do it 31 years later and he died 10 years ago?
I don't think no one made it at the time because in the 1990s nobody knew what the fuck. Well, not nobody, but very few people knew what the fuck a pierogi was.
Yeah, I guess the Polish
so that
was still considered ethnic food.
Right.
No, you know what? No, Peru. I think maybe we had different culture because I grew up in like the East Coast and like mostly grew up in the 2000s, but I'm born in '95. There was awareness of pierogies.
Yeah, but that's
significant enough is not something new. It wasn't like when people found out about hummus, which hit New Jersey like a shockwave a few years before the Midwest. But you know, it was this was not that. Is all I'm saying.
No, it is no, it is weird. I was born in 1974 and grew up in Southern Ohio, and seriously, like I would say half the shit that you can get at a grocery store now did not exist. Like you could not. You couldn't buy pierogies. You couldn't buy kale. Hummus, certainly no one like had any idea that existed. All we could buy was hot dogs and white bread. And that was all that was
no
in
milk, no eggs, no lettuce. You couldn't even get ketchup on the hot. Not even forget about mustard. That was too spicy.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. No. No. There was mustard, but it was just the yellow.
And the worst part is you couldn't even buy plates to eat them on.
Right. Yeah. Well, you could buy plates. They had everyone had the plastic Tupperware.
Yeah, you had to eat them off the hood of your uncle's car.
Right. It was all plastic with probably what are those the PVCs, the chemicals that now like you're not supposed to like.
The plastic that kills people. Well, don't we all have like a billion? You know, people talk about the microplastic things, and sometimes my stomach feels weird, and I'm like, maybe there is something sharp in there that's not good. But I will say, like, I've chosen not to worry about it. What am I gonna do? It's in everything, I guess.
Right.
If it's in everything, I'm just gonna give up.
Yeah. No, that's kind of my feelings about it. I got to die of something.
Yeah. So anyway, Joseph Bizo Jr. Go if you certainly, I can't offer like even an obviously bad candidate an endorsement as a joke if they're in a mainstream part. That I would say he has. I'm going to tell our audience he does not actually have my vote.
But also because you live in Illinois.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but like, if a third party candidate did this, he would probably have my vote, have my fake endorsement on the podcast.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
But people get serious, so I can't even say that.
No, and I applaud your courageous stance of refusing to endorse a politician who's willing to smear, presumably his own shit.
I know this has been the race that everybody's watching. This is what people are talking about. So I just want to make it abundantly clear. I am not going to be voting for Joseph Bizo Jr. I, of course, appreciate what he does as an electrician who's hired millions, if not billions of people. Yeah. Let alone, the literal fuel that powers this country.
Right. Yes. Small business owner, entrepreneur.
Every
shit stick.
electrician, extremely normal.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, and before we wrap this up, just for a little more context here on Mr. Viso, that was not his first run-in with the law. Um, it was the first time, apparently, that Obama made him
Well, yeah, of
circumvent
course.
the
I mean,
law. You know,
you can't do it because of the senator, the junior senator from Illinois. That is kind of a bridge too far.
yes. But he has a criminal record, including having a owning a excuse me, having a sawed-off shotgun near a school, children's school.
Mhm.
Um, he has numerous financial liens against him for not paying specifically parking tickets, and he was busted with a huge amount of methadone, which apparently is a ingredient in ecstasy,
Well,
the drug. Not
all right. You know what? Let's go down the list. Okay, so we're starting with the sawed off. Did you grow up? Did you grow up around guns? I did not grow up around guns.
No, not really.
Did you?
No.
But you grew up around people who had guns. I knew like maybe one family that would go hunting, and that was it. There was more fishing, like if anything, and even
Uh-huh.
that, like very rarely. Like I know, like saw, like what happens when you saw off a shotgun that makes it so much more dangerous?
Hmm. That's I don't know that I've thought about it that much. I think what makes it dangerous is it becomes like a much more uh much much deadlier like close quarters weapon.
Oh, okay.
So, like if you it if you want to you would use a shotgun like if you want I did grow up around hunters.
Mhm.
Um uh
I know people who hunt like boar. They use shotguns a lot, right?
I don't know if they hunted boar, but I guess I'm thinking of like birds.
Yeah,
Um and yeah, which because shotgun like when you shoot there's a
yeah.
shell that and there's like buckshot that spreads, so it makes it easier to hit
Oh, I
a
have,
bird.
let me put it this way. I didn't grow up around guns, but I have served in many campaigns. I know all about shotguns,
Mhm.
machine guns, the Soviet weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I served in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops.
Mhm. Yeah. No, and thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
No, so a sawed-off shotgun has no you wouldn't use it to hunt because you would have to be like right next to
Yeah.
whatever you're hunting, and then the buckshot scatters in such a way that like there would be very little of it left, even if you did use it. So it's essentially it's made for killing people. Like there's no other use for a sawed-off shotgun.
You ever see that movie, The Fox and the Hound?
I did.
Remember when the old lady holds a shotgun at the asshole old man?
Um, it's been a while, but for the purposes of this bit, I will say I do remember.
And she doesn't shoot him. But then you think later and you're like, you know what? If she shot him, the Fox and the Hound would have lived. This whole thing would have been avoided.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're not wrong about that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so that's the story
He
of.
also shouldn't have had a pet fox, so I guess, you know.
Did he have a pet? I
No,
thought the
he
fox.
had a pet dog. I think she like she let the fox roam around. You know, there should have
Oh,
been some
right,
fencing
right.
in place.
Mhm. Yeah,
In the
yeah.
long run, it just wasn't going to work out.
Now, maybe it's for the best. Are foxes and hounds supposed to be close like that? I don't know. I just don't
I
know.
think one of them does the dog die or does the fox die? One of them dies. It's one of the sad Disney movies. One of them dies.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm just going to say both of them died
Yeah,
in
that's
a.
right. I think suicide by cop, right?
I was going to say car accident, but yes, suicide by cop. Yeah, Mhm. I think I think it might have been the fox murdered the hound, and then when the police showed up, was taunting them, and he charged at him
Yeah.
with a knife, and that was it.
Yeah, you know, it was
It's really sad. It was kind of shocking for a Disney movie.
Yeah, I mean, you had to talk to those kids about meth somehow, though, and I'm glad that they chose to do it how they did.
Right.
Uh,
No, it was a brave stance for Disney.
hey, Jason.
Yeah.
You. Now, Jason, you're probably wondering why I learned to play this banjo or whatever, or maybe mandolin or guitar or something, depending on the music I find / learn / have learned, and why I hired this whole backing band.
Yeah, I was curious. The thought did
So, I
come.
mean, part of it is that you did leave your credit card out, when I visited, so I helped myself a bit. But the other thing is we are taking a journey to a little place I like to call the Cryptid Corner.
All right.
Now, our first story is going to take us to the land of Brazil. If that was offensive, I apologize. Obama made me do it, like with the last guy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about El Chupacabra?
I don't know him personally. Growing up in Southern Ohio, wasn't someone something I came into regular contact with. I believe isn't it doesn't the name mean like goat sucker or something?
Yes, Chupacabra does mean goat sucker. And there are actually two types of Chupacabra that people think of. The first is what is called what gets called the Mexican or Southwestern Chupacabra, but at this point is pretty much any sighting that's in the entire continental United States. You have some as far up north as Maine, all the way down to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll call this one the continental Chupacabra, for lack of a better word, or the North American Chupacabra. And then you have the Puerto Rican Chupacabra. Now, the North American Chupacabra is basically, it's more or less a werewolf type being. Both are associated with similar goats found dead, all of their blood drained. The Southwestern Chupacabra looks like a dog. It's tied to a number of sightings that have since turned out to be really fucked up mange-ridden dogs a lot of the time. And the Puerto Rican Chupacabra is what I find a lot more interesting. It's humanoid, it's smaller, it's tied to a lot of UFO activity and has a reptilian green look to it. Stories of both started to emerge between the 1970s and 1990s. In Brazil, we have a Chupacabra found dead. I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to also be posting this on the Instagram, and you can let me know, do we think this is, what do we think? Is this maybe a new type of Chupacabra? So this report's coming out of the Express in the UK. This was shot dead by boar hunters in Brazil, and they're saying this was a Chupacabra. They're referring to it as a terrifying, demon-like, blood-sucking mythical beast. I'm going to criticize some of the use of words here. First off, mythical definition, if this is a dead Chupacabra, not mythical.
Right.
Demon-like, I name a demon that looks like that. Terrifying, matter of perspective.
Right.
If you're a goat, certainly. So anyway, these hunters gunned down the Chupacabra, which has human-like hands and is roughly the size of a large monkey. You can see this on the YouTube channel. I'm also going to be posting pictures on the Instagram at Underworld News Tonight. Now, people are criticizing this, saying, oh, this is just clearly a fucked up, bloated howler monkey corpse. Oh, this is just a dead monkey. Or have they found a Brazilian Chupacabra? And I'm saying that because the Puerto Rican Chupacabra is what you would associate with having more monkey-like characteristics, even though it's primarily got a reptilian skin. It is a humanoid shape. There are some theories that have actually tied Chupacabra sightings in Puerto Rico to escaped laboratory monkeys. Whereas the continental Chupacabra is more canid. This does not look to really match either.
No.
So that's why I'm saying maybe the Brazilian Chupacabra, if this were a Chupacabra, would have to be its own thing. One of the hunters explained they came across the odd-looking creature while hunting wild boar on the edge of town. The man claimed they chased the blood-sucking beast before their hunting dogs fought with it. You know what? Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Right. Now that once your dogs are on it, you obviously, you can't let a chupacabra kill your dog. If it was lentil, I'd have to protect I think my dog could take out the chupacabra, but like that aside, like but you could just leave it alone. It's running away. Go.
Yeah. Well, and it keeps mentioning blood sucking. Was it actively like? How do they know? Was it sucking blood when they stumbled across
it?
It
didn't say that. Yeah, maybe it was sucking the blood of a wild boar. But either way, it's like, oh no, it's killing the wild boar. We need to fucking kill the wild. Look, you fucking lost. You don't get to shoot other hunters because they beat you to it.
Right. No, you're exactly right.
Skeptics are saying this is footage of a decomposing howler monkey. Either way, it's certainly gross. But
it is. Yeah, it is. I can attest. It is very gross. I don't know.
I've never seen a decomposing howler monkey, so I can't judge that part of it.
Right. I have no basis for comparison. I have seen decomposing capuchin monkeys, but a howler monkey is entirely new to me. And from these provided photos, this doesn't look like anything whatsoever to me, other than a sort of dark colored blob.
I mean, it looks like. Hold on, I'm gonna put the share back on.
Yeah, please.
Oh no, you can see the arm. You see the arm and hand.
You can see in this photo, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you move up to the first one. I mean, zooms in over here. You could see the fucked up face. Presumably, somewhere on the side was an area where there might have been some impact, or it might just be the lighting.
Yeah.
I mean, that also looks like, people are saying decomposing howler monkey. That looks like what I would imagine corpse bloat looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience with dead monkeys, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I can't judge if it's a decomposing howler monkey because I've never seen that.
Mm-hmm.
But this doesn't seem to match much to do with the chupacabra, other than I would say the hand.
Yes.
The hand is interesting.
Yeah.
Because that is more reptilian and less mammalian, maybe, than the rest of it. I don't know if any listeners have seen a howler monkey. Definitely let us know, and look at this on the Instagram. You can comment it as well, or email us at underworldnewstonight@gmail.com, because I would definitely be curious.
Yeah, please, please send us your photos of dead monkeys.
You don't send us photos of dead monkeys, but let us know if the dead chupacabra in the video and the photos on Instagram and the story that you could read, if that looks like a dead howler monkey to you, if those hands look like something you would see on a howler monkey. They don't say how they knew it was sucking blood. If it was sucking blood of the boars, that's fair game. I would say leave it alone.
Right.
We don't see a lot of chupacabras. They might be endangered. That's also something to keep in mind.
No, that's true. Yeah. And maybe it's time for Congress to act and add chupacabras to the endangered species list. Wait, does Congress do that? I don't know who does that.
I think Congress updates the Endangered Species Act, right? I don't think the EPA sets the list of endangered species, because I think that once you're saying it's illegal to hunt something,
right,
that's federal law. That's a law. That's not an executive order.
Mm-hmm.
I think here's what it comes down to for me in this case. It's kind of the same thing that I was talking about with the ghost hunters last week. With coyotes, like there are coyotes in New Jersey, and like you hear about coyotes, and generally speaking, I'm all for, like, if a coyote comes on your farm, you should shoot the coyote. Like, that's your farm, it's your property, it's your whether it's your pets or your livestock or whatever, like, shoot the coyote.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think going out and, like, seeking out a coyote that you saw when you were out in the woods and, like, shooting it and it was running away. I just don't think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
But we're going to move on to a much more pleasant story where nobody dies. And it's actually in your neck of the woods in Colorado. This story coming from the Denver Post. The story itself is from Southwest Colorado. But
beautiful country there.
Yeah. I don't know why I started with this ad for fucking what happens if you eat oatmeal, according to Top Doctor. We'll get into that at some point. This is a couple from Wyoming, Shannon Parker and Stetson Tyler, on the narrow gauge train ride from Durango to Silverton. Have you taken this train ride?
No, I have though been to both places. Independent, I drove. I would,
Set some scenery. Set some
yeah.
scenery for our audience about these places. Or would you say they're pretty similar? Or would you say they're different?
I think um it's very beautiful. A lot of like Western Colorado is pretty sparsely populated. There's just like a handful of kind of smaller towns. And there are a number of train lines that do kind of these like day trips where you go out and back, and you get to see, go through like the mountains and the forests, and it is, it is a really beautiful country, but nobody really lives there. Said there's just a handful of kind of smaller.
Well, there might be one notable resident, let's say.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Zoinks.
Oh, dear Jason, dear boy. So Shannon Parker and Stetson Tyler, a couple from Wyoming who were taking the train ride. And they took video and photo. You can see this on the YouTube. You're going to see this on the Instagram as well. Of what they are suspecting. They're using the word Bigfoot. We established last week it is a Sasquatch if you're purporting it's real.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and put on the video. Are you seeing it?
I am. Yeah, it looks like so there's kind of a big hairy thing walking upright through I was going to say erect, but I can't see from this distance if he's erect or not.
Well, we know it is Bigfoot breeding season.
It's true. So we'll just go ahead and say he's erect. Walking through kind of a scrubby foothill, and then he squats. So I think he's taking a shit. Hopefully that shit is not earmarked for a daycare center door, but
well, I feel sad for him because it is, like we were saying, the season of Sasquatch love.
Yeah.
Here's another picture of close up. I'll zoom in a bit more.
Yeah.
So I guess my first question, Jason, were you anywhere on this route when in the time frame that this was taken last week?
I can neither confirm nor deny whether or not I happened to be in the vicinity of Durango, Colorado last week. I might have been out there, got a burrito, went for a walk, and took a shit in kind of the scrubland. Could be, not saying one way or the other.
Do they have good burritos there?
I like them. There's in Colorado we have green chili that we put on literally everything, and it's like a pork based kind of chili, and it's really good. I don't know if Durango is known for better burritos than other parts of Colorado, but they definitely have them there. Yeah.
I feel like Sasquatch can't eat a lot of spices. I feel like it's, because they're not used to it in their natural habitat.
Right.
Yes, this is being purported as a Sasquatch by both the couple and Sasquatch enthusiasts. They keep using the term Bigfoot. I just don't think that
right.
legitimacy.
As we've established, that's not find that a bit of a derogatory term.
I don't know. What do you think of these pictures and footage?
I mean, I'm sold 100%. Like, this is certainly like one of the clearest photos of
it gets more convincing the more you zoom in on it.
Right.
Because you don't like zoom in more and see like that looks like sunglasses.
Yes.
And like, oh, he might be wearing like some sort of hunter camouflage.
Right.
Like it's weird. I think this is actually just a beautiful picture of nature, which you could also just post. Yes. It's weird because you don't necessarily even think, I don't know, like, I guess that what I want though is to think about the scenario of why somebody is walking, because like it's very hilarious to walk around like this for somebody to eventually post it and think they saw a Sasquatch, but that's a long fucking con. You'd have to be doing this for weeks, months. Like, I'd imagine, how many people are taking this train a day?
Right. Well,
Is it
and
packed?
yeah, I have no idea.
No,
I
you've never taken it.
no. I assume it's pretty popular though, because they've been doing it ever since I moved out here 10 years ago. I yeah, and again, to reiterate, like, this is pretty remote, rugged country. Like, the railroad that cuts through there, that's probably it for dozens of miles in any direction. Like, there's not a road or anything around there. So
It's not like popular campgrounds, even you would like. Is there like popular
right.
campgrounds that you would say
No,
are super near the railroad?
I don't, not off the top of my head, no.
But would somebody be hunting there though? Is what I'm wondering too.
I don't well, I don't think I'll say a responsible hunter probably shouldn't be uh hunting within a stone's throw of a busy railroad track, certainly like when a train's coming by. Um, no, I think that if to your point that, like, is this a hoax? Is this a person in a costume they bought at Spirit Halloween? That it would take a tremendous amount of effort on their part to come out, to this place where this photo is taken.
There's a weird thing, because I wouldn't say that the footage is necessarily convincing.
Oh no, I was being.
I think it would take the most amount of effort for the couple to coordinate this.
Yes,
because they would need to know the route really well. They would need a friend who knows the route really well.
yes,
And
right.
I don't think they have that.
Well, and it said they're from Wyoming, right? So they may. I mean, that's our
Wyoming's
neighbor to the north, but like they may not be.
People move states, though.
Oh no. Yeah, my point being, if that's where they live, I don't know how familiar they would be with southern Colorado geography to know.
Yeah. As much as I talk about being from New Jersey,
Mhm.
if I visited you with my wife and we both got murdered, they would write our obituary as an Illinois couple.
Right.
Fucked up.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um,
And you would kill us out of spite to do that. It is the fucked up thing. But anyway,
mhm.
I think that it's it's hard, because this isn't convincing footage by any stretch. I mean, like I'm saying, like, you could. I mean, this kind of seems to be just like a guy out here.
Oh yeah.
No, let me go back to the video.
And all of it is kind of this like the light brown of like dried grass, including the alleged Sasquatch. So it's all kind of a
Well, that's the
brown
color of Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna pause the video. Go back
and to the left.
All right. So here it is in the video.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it doesn't look like particularly normal clothing either.
No, and that's kind of a weird
One thing that's always my guide for footage like this, as far as like what's going on, I kind of think this is a homeless guy. I do kind of think this is a homeless man, looking at this a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, the way that he's sitting down, the fact that the couple isn't really filming a zoomed in version, I think it's very common, especially in UFO footage, where people don't zoom in what they're looking at. And sometimes it's obviously because you're like, what am I looking at? You don't necessarily think of how to shoot the perfect footage at that moment.
Sure.
But sometimes you kind of realize what you're looking at. You're like, oh, if I zoom in, it's going to be obvious, and I could still post it if I don't. Yeah, I mean, but you are saying it would take a lot for a homeless person to get there. But you could be homeless for a long time in the fucking woods, like.
Yeah, but
like you will get there.
Oh no, like you can absolutely get to it's important to note though, like in the footage, which again you can view online through our socials.
Yeah,
there's it's kind of a like scrubby foothill. It's not shaded. It's not a forest. I don't know. It wouldn't be like I don't know how comfortable it would be to like hang out
Well, I think that
The
they
person.
posted a picture of the whole area. So this is
Yeah.
the area that they took it
Yeah.
in. So for context, like, there's woods all around.
Yeah.
So, if a Bigfoot is going from one woods to the or a Sasquatch, I'm sorry, is going from one end of the woods to another, I don't know, to fuck because it's breeding season.
Yeah.
They have
We
to breed.
established. Mhm.
Has to get the Sasquatch juice out.
Yeah. Mhm.
Takes a seat in the middle. Sometimes you got to take a dump.
No, absolutely.
Plus,
Yeah.
you want to do it where there's nobody around, and so it's the opposite for us, where we shit in the woods because there's not people in the woods.
Right.
And I mean, now we shit in bathrooms. So, like, sometimes we've all been on a road
Well,
trip.
and some of us on preschool doors or daycare center doors, but yeah.
Well, no, he didn't shit on the door. That would take a degree of aim. He smeared the shit onto the door, presumably with like a cake frosting thing.
Oh.
But
No, I guess you're right. Yeah, big.
Yeah, it would make sense that they would shit in a
Sasquatch,
clearing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the environment tracks. I just think that this is a video of a homeless person, a tall homeless man.
I don't know. I'm kind of convinced it's a Sasquatch. This
I
scene.
am more convinced by the Chupacabra than the Sasquatch.
The Sasquatch pictured here does not at all look like the Jack Link's commercial Sasquatch from what, 10 years ago, however long ago.
What if this is that they're bringing back the Jack Link's beef jerky Sasquatch?
Yeah, again, I was being sarcastic. It looks very much like that kind of like elongated, yeah, like conical head. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have to edit out like research into whether or not these people work for Jack Legs, but that does make me think it's not a non-possibility. This is a viral marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Beef jerky. They sell a lot of beef jerky. But you never see that many people eat it. Like, I'll eat beef jerky occasionally, but for the amount of beef jerky I see everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I haven't thought about that. Yeah. Anytime you go into like a Quickie Mart or 7-Eleven, like there's what, a dozen,
9 or 10 types of beef jerky, and they're all like built, and people are presumably taking them. I imagine people eat it a lot in their car. It's a car food, but
yeah, I think it's popular like for hiking and camping because it lasts forever, and it's kind of that like caloric protein boost you need if you're exerting yourself. But I gotta be honest, I do not care for beef jerky, and I don't think I can remember the last time I ate any.
You ever had biltong?
What's biltong?
I only ate kosher meat, so they sell biltong in. Hold on, let me just make sure I'm thinking of the right thing. I'm looking this up. I'm breaking the cardinal rule and looking it up on my phone.
We're doing actual research.
We're doing real research right now into a topic that we don't even want to talk about.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about the right thing. So I know I only eat kosher meat, and this is like a lot of kosher meat places tend to sell this. Biltong is like a South African jerky.
Oh, yeah.
It's I don't know exactly what makes it different, but it is very tasty.
Oh, well, good to know.
Back when I ate not kosher meat, I used to enjoy a Slim Jim, but those are not kosher. I don't think they're pork, but I think they're obviously not kosher cows. So
yeah, no, I couldn't tell you last time I had a beef stick.
Very rare. I mean, you don't want it that much. It's not it's not the most appealing way to eat meat.
Mm-mm.
And it's not even the most appealing dried meat, really, because you get dried salami, and that's delicious.
Yeah, I agree. I would much rather have a salami.
Yeah, but you got to cut a slice of salami is the thing. A jerky, you can just
you take a bit.
You can't eat salami while driving, really.
Mm-mm. Well, yeah.
I mean, sometimes it goes well with my driving crackers and driving cheese and driving wine.
Yeah, right. With the like grapes and sliced melons, and my charcuterie board. My travel charcuterie board. Little bit of stone ground mustard. Yum yum.
So anyway, so your take is you are convinced by Sasquatch. You're not
100%.
convinced by Chupacabra.
No.
I'm convinced by Chupacabra. No, I'm not convinced by Chupacabra, but I am more convinced by Chupacabra than I am by Sasquatch.
Yeah. Well, agree to disagree.
I find the Sasquatch like deeply unconvincing.
Mm-hmm.
And my theory is either that they just filmed a tall homeless man or that it is actually a Jack Link's commercial.
I guess my feeling is that even on the off chance that this is some, a hoax or a mistaken identity, the amount of effort that this person would have had to go through to be filmed, to be seen way out in the middle of nowhere in rugged terrain.
Makes them an honorary
Think,
Sasquatch, you're saying?
well, I think they deserve it. I think
Yeah.
even if they aren't a Sasquatch, I'll go ahead and if they're putting this much effort into it, sure.
Well, I guess you're more optimistic because I'm saying this person
Yeah.
needs like housing and like
no,
support.
absolutely.
Yeah, you're like, no, they're a Sasquatch. They could live in the woods.
Yeah, we can totally
You're
ignore
home now.
Right. Yes, we can totally ignore their needs. As I understand it, a lot of Sasquatches are there by choice. They wouldn't go to a Sasquatch shelter even if when it's offered.
Yeah,
Man,
or it's a Jack Link's commercial, or it might actually be a Jack Link's commercial,
or Jack Link's.
Mm-hmm. Or it could be both. You know how they killed Mr. Peanut in that right. Famous commercial. Everybody famously well received, well liked, not confusing. Right. Made me want to eat peanuts for sure. Didn't make me consider that they could be alive too. Maybe they're having the Jack Link Sasquatch finally struggle with housing insecurity and tackle a topic that I think they've really needed to address for a long time.
Oh yeah, no, I'm absolutely not saying. Yeah, we definitely need to work on housing insecurity as a society, even amongst our vulnerable Sasquatch populations. But I guess my point is that whoever's doing this is putting in so much effort. If they identify as Sasquatch, I'm not gonna. It's not my place to tell them they're not.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more. But I mean, I guess if they identify as a Sasquatch versus if a couple from Wyoming identifies you as a Sasquatch, I just don't think that's the same thing.
I don't know. No, I think the couple from Wyoming.
They know best. I mean, they can tell me who I am too.
No, I think yes. I think if anyone can tell you who you are, it's a couple from Wyoming.
Is that your experience in that swingers house in the Denver suburbs?
That is exactly so. Yeah.
Is that? I guess, I'll tell the audience we had to re-record the first half. Did we say that in this record?
Yeah.
Okay, we did. Okay.
I think we went like in quite a bit of deep. Like we went probably too long.
Yeah, we really dragged it on. We lost. That's where we lost most of them. The other ones are writing out comments about how long it was. But anyway, I'm not convinced by the Sasquatch, I have to say. But if there is a new type of Chupacabra in Brazil, then I think we need to hold those hunters accountable.
Right.
And that's my takeaway.
All right. Well, thank you for the surprise cryptid corner. Maybe future cryptid corners, we might get to the bottom of the Sasquatch Chupacabra debate.
Probably. I think that famously the people who talk about Sasquatches and Chupacabras and stuff, they have really long attention spans about this stuff.
I think so.
They're not going to immediately be on to the next fucking grainy footage of a dog with cancer that they see.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Is goat sucker or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Our
lucky goats though.
Yeah. What? Yeah. I was thinking, what would have to happen for me to want to suck a goat?
The answer is at least 4 Bud Lights.
Right, at minimum. No, I was thinking how all these stories so far have tied together, and that dude was making Molly, and if I had enough Molly at the swingers house, someone brought out a goat.
That's
let's try to cut this. This is not good. All right. our last story today comes from the Associated Press. Um, we're swinging back east to Indiana. Indianapolis police capture a cheeky monkey that escaped and went on the lam. Uh,
Ah.
this is a story of Momo the monkey.
Mhm.
He precipitated a hours long search on the east side of Indianapolis when he escaped from his owner's property. He is
His owner, a zoo or a guy?
it's a person. We're gonna get into that, but
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, we'll get back to, we'll put a pin in that. Okay.
yes, he's a male. Momo is a male potus monkey, which is new to me, but yeah. So Momo was out running around, and police were chasing him. I believe the owner was actually cited for his failure to control his monkey. I don't think that was the actual
Yeah.
legal.
Not having the monkey. He's allowed to have the monkey, but
Yes,
you gotta keep it under control.
yes, and
Have they considered
apparently,
that maybe a monkey is not the most controllable?
yes, apparently in Indiana, you do not need a permit to own a monkey. So, if owning a monkey is something, something aspirational for you, maybe consider Indiana.
Maybe
Um,
consider a dog. I have a dog. And
uh,
I have to walk him for about 2 hours a day. It's a lot. He goes to bed. I don't need him to be able to like actually take over
yeah,
or want to rip my dick off.
right, right. No, to be clear, yes, I don't think anyone should own a monkey as a pet. Uh,
You heard it here.
I'm going to make a bold stand, particularly someone who chooses to live in Indianapolis. They probably shouldn't own a potus monkey.
Hottest monkey.
Yeah, PATAS is the
We go
type.
ahead. I'm going to pull up a picture of that.
Yeah, and let me know if it ends up being the same photo as the Chupacabra.
No, this is not the Chupacabra. They were saying it was a howler monkey.
Okay.
Which I'm not going to show people. I mean, I guess I might have showed people a dead monkey if it was just a dead monkey, but I'll pull up I'll pull up the Potus monkey picture. It is cute.
All right.
Look at that guy.
That is cute. Yeah, it's kind of a little baboon looking fella.
Now you guys will notice that in all of these pictures, they're like in the woods. You'd see the camera was probably like set up in a tree in probably a non-intrusive way. They don't have like little collars. Because they're not fucking pets, they're monkeys.
Right. It does not look like these photos come from Indiana, much less Indianapolis. But anyway, the brother of the monkey's owner was finally able to get Momo back into custody safely. I have not seen the body cam footage from the police officers chasing Momo to see, what tactics, how if they used illegal carotid hold or maybe shot him full of ketamine. But yeah, and so a question.
Looking up if a Potus monkey can rip your fucking face off like a chimp.
Almost certainly, yeah. No, this is they're cute, but again, they do have kind of that like baboon, kind of a long face. They look like they have little mustaches. Yeah, they're cute, but
they don't have the funny baboon ass though. Is the thing.
No.
Wikipedia at a very quick glance does not say anything about them attacking people.
No, yeah, and if the baboon ass, I think, is what you want in a primate pet. I guess my question in reading this is what the hell does it mean to be cheeky, and why is it always monkeys that are cheeky?
Yeah, and you know what else? Like, it's not. Well, I think being cheeky means being like snot. Like, I think I'm cheeky.
Okay.
I'm a bit cheeky.
Yep.
It's not cheeky to want freedom.
No, I don't think so.
The fucking this is not the show to go off about cops on, but this is it's not a fucking surprise. You know, let the monkey go. Let the monkey go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Momo, you deserve better.
Right.
Nobody should have to live in Indiana.
Exactly. I don't I think truer words were never spoken. And that might be a good place to end it.
Yeah, everybody, thank you so much for listening. If you like that, remember to rate, comment, and subscribe on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram at Underworld News Tonight. And email us your thoughts at underworldnewstonight@gmail.com, and I will read every one of them.
Yeah.
And maybe or maybe not respond, depending on if you are nice. I
Yeah.
am Andrew Michaels.
I am Jason Strong.
And we will see you next week with more quote unquote news.
All right.